Alright, let's roast a little coffee, shall we? So the first thing we're going to do is pull out the scale. The airbed popper is a little bit sensitive to how much coffee you put in. You have to get enough to keep the heat in and keep it roasting, but not too much so that the rotation of the beans slows down and they overheat in one spot and don't get evenly roasted. So go ahead and put the container on. Measure out about 5.25 to 5.3 ounces of green coffee, and then once you get that measured out, it goes into the roaster. And the roaster is really nothing more than just a heating element with a fan. The fan goes ahead and blows the heat up through the beans, keeps them rotating, and then they roast. So get that thing measured out. Green beans go back, and the roasted beans go into the hopper. I've goofed around a little bit with various settings on the coffee roaster. I think there's probably a bit of an art to it at this point. I've just got something that works pretty good, so I leave it set there and just go from there. So what I'm going to do, once we get it started here, I'll move the camera over so we can see a little bit better to watch the action on the beans, and then I'll slice out a few seconds of video every minute or so that you don't get completely bored kind of watching these things roast. So here we go, zoom in a little bit, see some but basically there's a little ring in there that focuses the airflow so that the beans rotate smoothly. And there we go, get a little better view of those things coming out. There's a couple of different fan speeds depending on what the temperature you set. The roast profile that I use starts off fairly low, a lower temperature, about 350, 375 degrees, and then it ramps up to about 4 1/4 for a little while to get the crack started, and then back down again. So we'll go ahead and just flip through a few screens here of the beans roasting, and you can start to see the color change. Well, there it is, all done. So we'll go ahead and back the camera up and get it out of the way. Some really nice looking beans right there. So I think I'm going to really enjoy having those. Nothing better than fresh roasted beans. So all I got to do now is sort of clean up. Go ahead and put them in the cup. The interesting thing is when you make the roast, there's some chaff that comes off the bean. There's a little film on the outside of the bean. These particular beans, looks like there wasn't too much. Some of them, there's a little bit more. Here, I'll go ahead and show you what that chaff looks like. It's just a real thin layer of sort of brown fluff that you've got to dispose of. And then go ahead and pop the top off and pour them out. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching some coffee roasting, and maybe it'll encourage you to give it a try. It's probably the thing that'll improve your coffee flavor really more than anything. You know, the actual kind of a roast, you know, makes a difference. The kind of bean makes a difference, but the freshness of it is really is the key idea. All right, folks, take care.